Good afternoon, Fastlane fans. Thank you for joining me in another episode. This is your host, Derek Lane, and another episode of the Fastlane Podcast for Success. Once again, thank you for joining me. Tonight, we will talk a little bit about leadership, what it means to be a good leader, and how to be a good leader, and how it reflects upon you personally and in your business. So sit tight. I think that you should find this one very interesting. So let's get going. Okay. Once again, Fastlane Podcast for Success. Leadership. What does it take to be a better leader? Well, some of the things that you'll hear from me is going to be a little cliche. You've heard them before, but I think it bears repeating. First off, to be a good leader, you have to lead by example. Don't ask someone to do something that you wouldn't do. Show that you're willing to do that. Show that you're willing to do what you've asked someone else to do. Because they may not know exactly what you mean, and it's a good opportunity for teaching and coaching. So always be aware of that. Never be the leader that is a do as I say, not as I do. When you're asking people to do things and then your actions don't mirror what you've asked them to do, well, then you're not a leader, you're a hypocrite. So evaluate yourself to make sure that that's not happening to you. Make sure that you always remain positive. I've had people, managers and leaders that, for whatever reason, they tend to get down a little bit, and that just ruins the morale of everyone around. Stay positive. I don't care what the certain situation may be, but there's a silver lining in everything. There's always something to learn, something to grow from. So it's up to you as a leader to make that happen. Also, as a great leader, know that you can be humble. You don't have to lead as if you're the most omnipotent person in the world, that you're expected to know every single detail. Be humble. Also, great leaders are effective communicators. They reach out, they listen to the people around them to understand the thoughts and feelings so they can right the ship, as it were, to make sure that things are going in the right direction. So make sure that you're communicating effectively. In times of trouble, times that maybe you're second guessing yourself, reach out to a mentor, someone that you consider a good leader. Or maybe just remember some of the lessons of the people that taught you how to be a good leader. It's okay to reach out. It's perfectly normal. It's encouraged. You can't know everything, and you will get hit with challenges. It's okay to ask for help through the people that you consider mentors. Always be aware. Be looking at the big picture all the time. Understand what's on the horizon. It's easier to run a company, to run your personal business, to run your relationships, if you can see what's on the horizon. Just kind of get a feel for what's going on. And that's just simply by being aware. Encourage feedback. Encourage creativity in others. If you don't know what they're thinking, how can you lead them to the next level or move forward with your endeavors? You have to understand what they're thinking. You have to encourage feedback. And if you're a positive person, you're more likely to get positive feedback. But it's okay if you don't. Sometimes negative feedback is necessary in order to understand the potential problems and snares that are in your way. Know who you are leading. Know your group, the people around you. And if you're just leading in a manner of leading, maybe you're not the boss, you're not the manager. You are still a leader. You still own your business. You own what you're doing. It is your business. Everything that you do in life is your business. And it should be looked upon as if you're leading that business. Even though you may work for someone else, you're still a leader. Know yourself. Know who you are. Know your strengths. Know your weaknesses. Or better said, know your areas that need improvement. And harness the strength that you offer. Be teachable. Be willing to be taught. Also, be willing to be a teacher. Everybody, again, has areas that they are experts in, areas that stand out. Be willing to teach those to other people. When you look around at some of the areas that need improvement, and you see someone else that is doing things quite well in those areas, be willing to be taught, to understand that. Your goal is to become the most well-rounded leader that you can be. And why be a leader? Well, you want to be someone that's respected, someone that's trusted. Leaders are respected and trusted. It says a lot about you and your character as a person. See, it's a lot easier to go through life, to meet challenges, when you have people that root for you, that are your personal ambassadors to your success. Maybe someone doesn't know Derek Lane, and they ask a friend or a coworker or about Derek. You want to make sure that that person says, "Oh, outstanding character. Yeah, that guy's real helpful. Whatever it is, real thinker. Whatever your area is." So when you have those opportunities to have people on your side, make sure it's not met with resistance. That I don't know, the guy can be a little sketchy sometimes. You don't want that. That's why you need to be a leader. That's why you need to practice being a leader, no matter what position you're in. If you're in a position that you go and punch a time card and you go to work and you just look at it like, hey, I'm just putting in my time. Just putting in my time. My boss, he tells me what to do, I do it, Okay, fine. But why not put in your time in the most effective way you can? And that's to be the most trusted person, the most respected person. So it all makes a difference. Again, knowing yourself and knowing not to take yourself too seriously at times. You don't have to be the staunch person that, I don't have time for that, the tomfoolery, the shenanigans. It's okay. It's okay to be lighthearted. There's always a time, and you recognize a time that you should be lighthearted. Have a smile on your face. When someone wants to, share a laugh with you, it's okay to do that. You don't have to be the person that, I don't have time for that. So, don't take yourself too seriously. Challenge others around you. Challenge them to be great. Now, you don't necessarily have to verbally do that, verbally challenge people. Hey, I bet you can't do it. Not that. What I mean by that is when you challenge people, it kind of goes back to lead by example. If people respect you and they see a lot of qualities in you that they want to see in themselves, that creates the challenges. That creates the opportunities for your actions to quantify as a challenge. So challenge people, but do it with your integrity. Do it with your leadership. Also, develop people. Again, I just spoke a little bit about being teachable and teaching others. It kind of goes back to developing people. When someone asks for help, give them your help. It doesn't mean you have to stop what you're doing right this second and go, okay, what is it you need? No. Great leaders know how to develop people and help people and coach people the right way. Hey, Derek, I could really use a hand with this. Hey, no problem. Be glad to help you out with it. Give me just a second here. I'm going to finish up my project, and we'll get to yours. We'll take a look at yours. Or if it's a case like, sure, I'm not too immersed in something right now that I can't stop. What you got going on? So, you see, it doesn't mean that you're just giving everything away. You're helping people. And when you do it in the right way, it shows them too that when they're teachable, they can do the same thing. Oh, hey, I remember how Derek handled that, and he did it like this. I can use the same method. It works. You do not lose credibility. You do not lose respect. In other words, you garner more respect and credibility just by having the proper methodology to help develop people. Always be a person that is focused, a person that knows what your itinerary is, your goals, where you're going, where the company wants to go, where your people want to go. And those are the things that you're developing. You're developing that forward thinking, that role and goal achievement. You do that by being focused. You do that by being confident. People don't come to leaders that aren't sure of themselves. You have to understand that you have confidence. Confidence in what you do. Confidence in your actions, your posture, your speech, just your total vernacular. You should be confident. Needs to be confident. You have to have integrity. Integrity can be such a key element in being a leader. I probably don't even have time to touch on, what really needs to be talked about as far as integrity. Integrity could be its own subject, but make sure that you exude integrity. Don't ask somebody to do something that you wouldn't do. Kind of one of the first things I said. Inspire people. A good leader inspires people. Not only just challenges them, but inspires them.